Hi, I'm Steve Gladys again for Steve Gladys Leadership Partners here at George Mason University's Enterprise Center. We're talking about how to have a great meeting so the meetings don't suck time and energy away from people in your organization. We've talked about what to do before a meeting. What we're going to do is talk about what you do during a meeting. Because if you've done your homework and really prepared a meeting, people have at least some sort of agenda or some sort of know what's going on, what's expected of them, what they should do before the meeting. When they come into the meeting, there's certain things you might want to do. First of all, you want to do introductions. I've seen a lot of people go into meetings, just jump right into a meeting and start the meeting without people even knowing who's in the room. This just happened to me. I was at a session recently where the facilitator just started the meeting. The better way to go is to go around the room and have everybody introduce each other. A simple way may be tell me who you are, what you do, and tell me one interesting thing about you we might not know. It could be a hobby or something like that. You'd be surprised at what people say and do in the discussion that happens. It engages them and it lightens the moment. Sometimes I just ask people, if they're a group that I've known for a long time, I'll just say, let's go around the room and tell me one good thing that's going on in your life right now. It sets the meeting in a positive tone, and it really leads to plowing the ground preparing the ground before you actually have the discussion. Another way to do it is to say, what's your favorite vacation place? Just something that puts people in a positive mood. We know that people tend to remember meetings better if you start positively and if you end positively. So that's one of the things you can do, but at least have people introduce themselves. Secondly, you want to sort of set the stage. You want to set the stage for people by telling them what the meeting is all about. What's the general goal of this series of meetings if you're going to have more than one? What's the goal? Our goal is to revise the performance appraisal system here at George Mason University or at Yale or wherever you might be. And the outcome, and then announce the outcome for this particular meeting. What I'd like as an outcome for this meeting is, I'd like us to come up with 5 critical elements for a public speaker, or 5 critical elements for a facilitator, or whatever it is, whatever you may be working on. But so it's the goal, the overarching goal that they need to know. It's kind of the vision of the future. And then you want to be very specific about the outcomes that you'd like to get out of this meeting. That kind of sets everybody's brain. It's called framing. And when you frame people's brains, they tend to get done what's in the frame. All right? So, set the stage. Keep the meeting on track. Keep the meeting on track by having some bullet points, by having things on the board like this that you can use. Maybe even put your agenda right in a plain sight. Let people chat. Let them say things, even if they have sidebar conversations with other people. As long as those aren't disturbing, they're actually pretty good for groups. Sidebar conversations are actually pretty good. It shows that the group is engaged. The other thing you want to keep in mind is what happens if somebody tries to hijack the meeting. If you have an extreme extrovert that tries to hijack the meeting, just say, gee, that's a great idea, Joe, but let's move on. Don't be afraid to be a little bit rough if you have to, if they do it 2 or 3 times. Just be a little abrupt at some points. Gradually, people will thank you after the meeting if you kind of work. Sometimes you actually have to talk over people like that. And the last one is you need to engage people, and that's what our next video is going to be on. We're going to give you about 4 or 5 engagement techniques that you can use with people that will really energize your meeting and not make it a time suck or an energy suck. Thanks very much. This is Steve Gladys for Steve Gladys Leadership Partners at George Mason University's Mason Enterprise Center. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.